then after struggling emotionally for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, maybe more, and this just isn't working, and it collapses. Well, it turns out there isn't a support group of mentors and coaches and key people and a business model like it started like that. My name is Randall Adcock, and as I said earlier, by day I work for the federal government, but this is a personal interest of mine. And I've got about 14 people working with me to make this a reality. I've been involved in regional economic development for the last 11 years. Before that, I was a business coach for about 10 years. I have a master's degree in community development and a couple of certificates in management development and business analytics. I've set this up as a Pechakucha kind of presentation. Wayfind as business cooperative is really about wayfinding for people in the confusing, complex, and quickly changing world of the 21st century. What we're trying to do is prepare individuals to find out how they fit into this new world among all the complexities that are going on. How is it you can apply yourself most efficiently and effectively in business or in the community or a nonprofit organization to make a strong difference in the world and feel good and get the reward you deserve. So the business portion is about helping mostly businesses, but we're going to be having members from the nonprofit sector as well, and maybe educational institutions. And they're going to be forming a part of the co-op. Each person will be a member of the co-op. You buy a membership, that gives you a share in the company, and also a vote, so you're able to participate in elections of the boards of directors. We're also setting it up so that you can participate in the ongoing governance, like what kind of products and services are going to be offered. So it's a very tight loop between the users and the products and services. And it really is focused on the core value that each of the members wants to offer. We're going to wrap everything that's available around each member to bring out their very best performance so they can add the value to their community or their markets. And it's going to be very much focused on processes and models that are emerging and not in the old legacy methods unless they are continuing to be relevant. What we're trying to do is keep it elegant and simple so that there's a big buzzing world out there. How do you bring all of that complexities to the individuals so they can navigate the opportunities and the threats while using their strengths and avoiding their weakness, vulnerabilities. So in a cloud environment, we're going to set up a service, software as a service, a whole suite of software services for our individuals so they can manage the most efficiently and effectively in their business. Same again with the nonprofit. It's all the same, really. Who are you serving? How are you going to work with your customers? And here's some of the examples of tools that we would offer. Things like we're creating a business ecosystem. It'll be a multi-sided platform that is based on open source software and enabling business matchmaking to go on. You can then form projects and do collaborative project management online. You could do crowdsourcing among the members if you have problems that you're having trouble solving. On the ground, it's more like what we have right here, and at this club and meetups and Startup Edmonton, where we have workshops and seminars and salons and town hall meetings and training and discussion groups, whatever. People getting together, sharing their best ideas, best practices, helping one another through mentoring, coaching, and facilitating. So we're preparing for the 21st century economy. We've called it many different names over the last while, and it just tells you how quickly things are spinning. The paradigms don't stick very long. The gig economy is current. Well, a lot of people are having to be self-employed today or going from contract to contract. We're trying to optimize a system that will enable people to work with one another, quickly get together, break up, form other groups, and so on. But collaboration is going to be the key, because each of us has a narrow specialization. If this is, you have a natural given talent, how do you actually use that? Well, you plug into teams, for example, where there's a diversity of backgrounds, ages and disciplines and cultures and races and so on, and you learn how to get the most out of that diversity. Innovation is another buzzword these days, transformative technologies, platform changes, and so on and so forth. But with the changing environment, how do you keep ahead of the complexity, things that are going on? If you want to be relevant, you have to be innovative, and we provide models and methods to support you in that. And it's all about intelligence. That's what all life form really is intelligence. How do you keep yourself going through all of the various opportunities and challenges or threats? So we find out now there's a lot of variety of intelligence that we have. We start with a native inborn intelligence, which is our brain, but it doesn't actually grow with the complexity of the world. We're basically flatlining. So what we want to do is kind of tap into the natural master algorithms of nature. We're not there yet. But in physics they talk about unified field theory and so on. There is progress being made to understanding the patterns of nature and how the patterns repeat again and again and again throughout nature. We'll start with leveraging what is inborn to us. Start with our brain and train our members as much as possible in systems and design thinking methods, so that we're all talking the same language, again, as much as possible, but also making the best use of the brains that we do have to solve problems and add value, add productivity. Then we add to that a new level of intelligence. Well, there's an intelligence going on in any dialogue that supersedes and emerges from the individuals participating. We call it synergy. We're going to capitalize on that by mastering methods that promote that kind of collaborative or organizational intelligence. And we're going to do that within the governance of Wayfinders as well. So it's multiple levels of intelligence going on here simultaneously. We're going to tap into cultural wisdom. We have a very strong cultural diversity in our team, and that's one of the things that we're doing quite consciously and deliberately. Bringing people from different backgrounds and synthesizing lessons learned and rolled up through the ages from all of these different cultures. The modern age is not just a European culture. It is a synthesis of a number of different cultures. And then AI, by that I mean all the software that's out there today. There's intelligence in it right now. And we talked about algorithms and so on, data analytics, visual analytics. It's all true, but this is an extension of our own natural intelligence and the natural intelligence of nature itself. So why not tap into it, but appropriately to meet the needs of our individual members to maximize your personal impact. So we form local chapters like this, in a sense, each one of them constituted and self-governing, like I think Toastmasters or service clubs, where you have people who meet regularly and they put on different events. Everybody feels that there's a need now for, let's say, systems thinking or design thinking workshop. Let's do it. That group will take charge and they'll set it up. Then we can clone our local chapters around the world by working with ethnic communities, business communities in Edmonton, and we're growing to let's say, Calgary or Regina or Vancouver. Well, let's set up local chapters in the home countries of people that we know right here and assist them in doing international trade and setting up supply chains. We are now recruiting contributors, members or not. We have people who just believe in what we're doing. People in IT, for example, who just believe. They're not even in small business, but they believe what we're doing is the right thing to do. So we're putting all the call out here for people to join us in one way or another. We're looking for programmers, UX experts, web content managers, people with facilitation and small business skills to establish an ecosystem that is going to serve all of the members effectively. We'll start out seeding this with the services that are most common in demand, like accountants, bookkeepers, lawyers, sales
consultants and so on, and developed the system from there. So I am available then if anybody has any questions. That is, let's say, who have you got in there? Well, we've got lawyers and accountants, and we've got sales professionals and web designers and that kind of thing. Oh, okay, I can use those services right away. So that's kind of it, helping to seed the ecosystem. I think that what we need to do is keep our nose to the grindstone, get the small details right, and learn systematically how to scale up our successes so that it takes off. Well, we find the statistics for decades has shown that 4 out of 5, roughly, small business startups fail in the first 5 years. And what have they done to get there? They invested their life savings. They spent, 24/7 working on that business. They put their family life at risk, struggling emotionally for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, maybe more, and it just isn't working. And it collapses. Well, it turns out there isn't the support group of mentors and coaches and key people, but trying to identify the most common causes for failures and rectify it. Let's take it seriously. Got to sink our teeth in like a pit bull and shake that thing. Get it right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.